What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with They Cutting the Food. So y'all know, like, They Cutting the Food. This is where we just talk about small little stories that I think people are doing the most with, and that's it, you guys. So y'all know, typically with They Cutting the Food is usually at least 2 or 3 stories. We keep the video at 30 minutes. So before we go ahead and get into it, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel yet, and I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and discuss what they tripping about this week, shall we? All right, you guys. So I don't even know where to start up with this episode, with this number of They Cutting the Food, because the stories that I got, terrible. Actually, you know what? We can start up with the one that ain't gonna require a whole lot out of me, and that is going to be this whole DDG thing. So last weekend, it was a lot of people here in Texas, more specifically down in Houston, right? And there was this thing called DreamCon. Now, mind you, that was the first time I've ever heard about it, but I do follow some people who went to DreamCon, and it looks like it's anime, because I saw a lot of people dressed up in, anime and all that kind of stuff. But again, I don't know what DreamCon is. If you guys know what DreamCon is, please tell me. Actually, here we go. So DreamCon is a global gathering for fans of gaming, anime, sports, film, music, and pop culture, fostering inclusivity and celebrating diverse voices. So the 2025 event took place from May 30th to June 1st. Okay, cool. But like I said, because I knew people who, I know, I follow some people who actually went to DreamCon, so cool. Now, speaking of DreamCon, I did see that DDG and his entourage was at DreamCon, right? And I don't know the particulars of what happened, but there was a video of his team just hauling off and beating this guy up. Now, the reason that they say they beat the man up is because the dude called DDG doo-doo garbage. I was like, so that's the reason y'all, because I mean, it was one guy, right? And it was his brother, some other dudes. They were, commencing on just tearing that man up. And I was like, here's the thing. I'm not gonna sit here and tell people how not to get affected by words and things of that nature. But I just found it quite odd that y'all got offended and affected to that magnitude about doo-doo garbage. Doo-doo garbage? Okay, whatever. Oh, those are dirty. Like, whatever. But I thought it was very weird to me that y'all got affected by the word doo-doo garbage. And like I said, they were going in on the guy. Going in. So this comes to us from Vibe. It says DDG's brother fights DreamCon attendee for, quote, doo-doo garbage insult. The man is reportedly looking into legal options after the viral brawl. I would imagine he is. And I don't blame him, right? So it says a chaotic fight at DreamCon 2025 was allegedly the result of insults hurled at rapper DDG. In viral video footage of the melee, the Michigan native's brother and cameraman reportedly defended his honor against a convention attendee who called him, quote, doo-doo garbage. In a clip shared across social media, multiple men are seen throwing punches, body slamming, and attempting to break up the violence as onlookers watch and record each moment. The alleged troll shared his side of the story in an interview shared on Instagram Live by Bytes, I believe that's how you pronounce it. It says, quote, hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all probably saw me at DreamCon earlier. Across y'all's phone screens getting assaulted by DDG, his brother, and one of his friends. I want to tell y'all how the whole thing started. Me and my boys standing in the vending hall, we chilling, he explained. We see DDG walking by, and it's whatever. I heard about DDG before. I heard the name. I heard the term doo-doo garbage. I'm thinking it'd be funny, just a little joke. So I called him doo-doo garbage. From around the way, his homeboys stopped, Come back. His brother, y'all gotta Doobie. Is that how you pronounce this? D-U with a capital B. How you pronounce it? I don't give a damn. Decided to go ahead and come back and try to press me about what I said. He punches the shit out of me. Furthermore, he added, I got to take legal action against his brother or somebody out here. The man continued, that's unacceptable. They done broke my chain. I'm banned from the event. Glass is gone. I thought it was all jokes, he continued. I never seen DDG react like this in the past. I'm so confused. Why did he get banned? Granted, he called the man doo-doo garbage, but he was the victim. He got attacked by those people, so why did they call him? Why did they ban him? I mean, it's weird to me. Why not ban the people that beat his ass? But okay. Okay. So it says, in an audio shared by Live Bites, DDG addressed the situation on X Spaces. In his side of the story, he claimed his brother was in fear of his life. How was your brother in fear of his life when your brother then was attacking this man and the video was all over social media? He says, quote, the dude was following us around the whole entire DreamCon trying to embarrass us and bully us. I told my brother to check him in terms of like, check and see if he's okay. Check and see if he needs help. Because y'all know I'm a helpful person. I'm gonna call cap on that, as the kids say. You told your brother to check him. Your brother knew what check him mean. That didn't mean to check him to see if he cool. Like if you feel like, here's my thing. If you want to say, oh, check this dude to make sure everything is good with him, you be like, hey, this dude been following us for a minute. Ask him, like, is everything good? Like, is there something we can do for him? Can we help him? Do he need something? Do he need to find somewhere to go? Like, but you said check him. Check him means, hey, I don't want to fuck with him, and I don't want to fight him because I got too much to lose. But you ain't got nothing to lose, so you go over there, you handle that nigga. That's what, like, DDG, shut up. So he says, check and see if he's all right because he kept following us. We thought he was like a little slow or whatever. Bullshit. Okay, whatever. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this situation. If you guys saw it, tell me what you think about it. But DDG, you're lying and you're full of shit. You told your brother to check him, meaning go check that nigga and fight that nigga. Like, that's what it meant. Not make sure he's good, he needs help, he needs medication. Honestly, I hope the boy sues the pants off of you. I really do. I really do, because this is why, because when you look at like comedians and stuff, when they get hecklers, because that's obviously what this man was a heckler. You got to know how to deal with the heckler. You don't give them the light or attention. Like you can, here's the thing, with a heckler, you can put the spotlight back on them and be like, oh, okay, you think you funny. I see what you're doing. Something like that. But to actually have somebody fight him, yeah, I think that's stupid. But hey, you guys will tell me what you think about it down in the comments section below, and we'll go ahead and move on to the next story, you guys, shall we? So now we're going down the rabbit hole of, BS. I don't know where to start up with, because the next two stories are stories that I'm irritated with for multiple reasons. Well, let's start up with Cardi B and Offset. So, as I woke up this morning, I saw that Offset has deleted all of his social media. Instagram gone, X, aka Twitter, is gone, right? So, last week, after I did They Cutting the Fool, and literally as I edit, like I was in the process of editing Let's Get Into the Blogs, right? And me in the process of editing Let's Get Into the Blogs, that's when the news came out about Offset and the fact that Offset was asking for spousal support from Cardi B. I was like, wow. So you're asking for spousal support. And then I was thinking to myself, like, is this because she's with that Stefan Diggs boy? Because we're seeing so many things about her and Stefan Diggs, right? I think they just celebrated 6 months with each other. Before I came on here this morning, I just saw a video of him getting his hair done. And you can see Cardi in the back, because the person, whoever was recording, they had their phone on Stefan, but there was a mirror in the back. So in the back, in the mirror, you can see Cardi B in the mirror. So I'm like, is Offset doing all this stuff because of what's going on with him and Cardi, not him and Cardi, is Offset doing this because of what's going on with Cardi and Stefan? Because it looks like Cardi is happy with Stefan and Offset can't take it. It's the age-old saying, you never realize what you have until it's gone. And I think that's what Offset is getting to the point of. He's realizing, damn, I had a good woman, I fucked up on her, and now, she with this new dude. So now, since I can't get her back, let me get back at her by doing this in the courts, right? But I'm confused, right? So I'm gonna read this article from Billboard. It says, so Offset doesn't seem too happy about Cardi B and New England Patriots wide receiver Stefon Diggs going public over the weekend. The new couple went viral when videos of a yacht party surfaced just as the NFL's organization team activities were starting up. And while the team activities weren't mandatory, Diggs' absence was frowned upon by his head coach. I don't care about that. So Offset wasn't the biggest fan of the videos, tweeting, good rollout and PR. He has since deactivated his X and Instagram account after letting off a string of X posts earlier Tuesday that someone may get hurt seemingly over a picture floating around that suggests his and Cardi's son Wade has the same hairstyle as Diggs. Quote, now when somebody DIE for playing with my son, then call me the crash out. Quote, he wrote in a since deleted message, I don't care how I look trolling with my kid ends. I want him to go back and I'm gonna read this again. IDC is how he typed it. IDC, how I look trolling with my kid ends bad. I don't know what that means. I don't care, right? So you got, again, it says Offset and Cardi B are currently in the midst of a messy divorce in which the former Migos member asked for spousal support, prompting a vitriolic reaction from the Bronx rapper on X Spaces, where she said she wanted him to, oh my God, okay, Cardi, I mean, that's extreme. She wants him to DIE slow. Okay. Cardi also said Offset's alleged cheating, lies, and gaslighting affected her third pregnancy in negative ways. It's more than cheating, she claimed on X Spaces. It's the constant lies, the gaslighting. It was really messing up my head. This is how Cardi, we know how Cardi talks. It was really messing up my, okay. I'm gonna sum it up. It was messing up her head. She couldn't eat. She couldn't sleep. Her baby came out 5 pounds. A healthy baby. My baby came out 5 pounds because I couldn't eat. I was so depressed. The couple were married for 6 years and they have 3 children together. Oh God. Like I said, Offset is upset that Cardi has moved on from him, and Offset can't handle the fact that she's moved on. So everything that Offset is doing is a reaction to it, because I feel like Offset felt like with Cardi, okay, every time he cheated on her, she got pregnant, the first time, remember that case she had with the girls at the club with the bottle? Then she had Culture, right? She had Culture not long after that. Then with the little boy, he was cheating again, and it was, in the blogs about him cheating. Same with the little girl, this last little girl, cheating on her. Then she comes up pregnant. Like, I think Offset felt like, okay, she done stuck with me through 3, we done had 3 kids together, right? I done cheated on her before each kid came into the world, and she takes me back each time. So I felt like Offset felt like this time would be no different than previous times, because we know Cardi has filed for divorce before from Offset, but she took it off the table. But I think this time, it's like you've done it so many times, and it's like you keep doing it and keep doing it, and you think every time I'm just gonna take you back, right? And she has in the past. But this time I think Cardi had enough, and I hope somebody got on her. I think somebody probably got on her ear and was like, girl, you're young. You don't have to deal with this man. Go find a man that will treat you the way that you should be treated. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so she filed for divorce from him, and this time it's gonna stick. And so now that he realizes, oh shit, she wasn't playing with my ass, like she really is about to leave me. Now he's at the point where, okay, she wants to divorce me. She's in a new relationship with somebody. But the thing about this whole Stefan Diggs thing is not like this is the first time we saw, like, that yacht video was not the first time that we saw Cardi with Stefan. They've been courtside at basketball games. If I'm not mistaken, they were seen after the Met Gala. So this isn't them. This wasn't the first time. I think, I think now, but again, it was already official. I think she's just a little, I think the yacht party and them celebrating 6 months was just solidifying what people already knew. And here's my thing. When it comes down to, here's the thing I will say. He has a right to be upset about his kids, right? He has every right to be upset about his kids. But if your kids are not being harmed in any way, then what are you upset about? Honestly, looking at it, I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example of who it's reminding me of. Y'all, it reminds me so much of Sierra, Russell Wilson, and Future. That's who this situation kind of reminds me of, because Future played in Sierra's face, right? She got pregnant, they got engaged. After they got engaged, he was still cheating on her. She has her baby, they break up, right? And then she gets with Russell Wilson, and at every turn, Future tries to, somebody is really loud in my hallway. I heard their phone ringing a few minutes ago. Now I hear them talking. But remember, Future at every turn, he has something to say about Sierra and Russell, right? And then you guys know you have people who talk shit about Russell when he celebrates his son. That is his son. He's a better father. From what we see, Russell is a better father to little Future than his own fucking daddy. That's just my personal opinion. And then you see people in the comments always talking about he a simp and all this kind of stuff. I would rather a simp than a ain't shit person, but that's my person. That's me, right? So I feel like this is going to be an ongoing thing for Cardi as well. I feel like no matter who Cardi gets with, he's gonna always say, "Oh, but my kids around this person. Oh, you see this you see this a lot, even not even just with celebrity couples, right? You see this when it comes to regular, average, everyday people who have kids. Women who have kids with a man, and the man never treats them right. The man constantly cheats on them, could be abusive to them. Then when a woman finally is like, okay, you know what, enough's enough. I want to move on. I'm finna get with another, I'm going to go out, date. She dates, finds another man, she gets married to the man. The man then accepts her kid or kids. Then the father of, the kid then finds issue with everything. And I think that's what's going to be the case when it comes to Cardi and Offset. Like I said a few minutes ago, the issue with Offset isn't her being in a relationship. It's part of the reason. Her being in a new relationship, because like I said, Offset never fathomed that Cardi would ever leave him. And so now that she's finally left him, he's crying. In the words, what the kids say, he's crashing out, right? He losing it, because he do I believe that Offset at one point may have loved Cardi? Maybe he loved her. I don't know, but Cardi, she gonna get through it. I just think it's insane that man is asking her for spousal support. You ain't got no money from the Migos. Like, you ain't got no money. You ain't got no money. Okay. It's crazy to me to think that you want to get spousal support off of her. But I don't think honestly, I don't think a judge is going to give it to him with his track record of cheating. I just don't think that a judge is going to grant him any kind of spousal support. But we don't. I'm not a judge. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. But hey, we can discuss that in the comment section, you guys. And that's really all I got for this. Let me know your 2 cents, and we will go ahead and pause here and wrap it up with the final story, shall we? All right, you guys. So the final story. So this came out literally much like with the Offset and Cardi thing, this one came out after. I think this came out Friday, so I had already done the video. I think this came out Friday. But you guys know Brian McKnight's son, Nico McKnight, right? And you guys remember Nico had cancer, right? So I I want to say it was Friday. I'm almost positive it was Friday because I had already done the video because I was thinking about doing an extra video, but his son passed away from cancer. Um, Brian McKnight's son, Nico, died of cancer at age 32. Oh God, 32? Damn, that is so young. Prayers up to Nico, his mom, Brian McKnight Jr., his brother, and his other siblings that he has, right? Fuck his daddy. Fuck his daddy. But before I get to that sad sack piece of shit motherfucker, Brian McKnight, let's talk about Nico real quick. So the news came to us on via TikTok via Brian McKnight's brother, Claude McKnight, right? So Claude went on TikTok, gave he just said nice positive things about his nephew, and he said that his nephew had passed away. Then I saw that Brian McKnight Jr. had made a post about his brother as well, and it was nice and heartfelt. So I wasn't even thinking about that miserable, sad sack piece of shit, Brian McKnight. I wasn't thinking about that man at all because I also read somewhere that Brian McKnight had not made any kind of amends with Nico before his passing. I was like, you know what? That's going to weigh on his conscience for the rest of his life. And if it does, good for him. So let's get into this disgusting piece of shit. So last night I was on Instagram. More specifically, I saw on the Shade Room and the Neighborhood Talk. So this man went on his Instagram or TikTok or wherever the fuck whatever rock this bastard crawled out from up under. He crawled up under a rock, put a video where he was in Maui, then had a Hennessy bottle in the sand. And I'm finna, because his Instagram caption is literally everything that was on that TikTok. So this comes to us from sad sack ass Brian McKnight. It says a big thanks to Claude McKnight's tasteless and aggrandizing, I can't pronounce that word, announcement on TikTok that frankly was not his to make. In my opinion, he inserted himself and used Nico's death as an opportunity instead of letting him pass with respect and dignity. It has instead turned into a circus, a mockery of a life now lost, making this tragedy into a reality show type drama. While that was unfolding, my family and I flew to Maui and had a private memorial remembering him. In all the good times, the last time he and I spoke, we offered him all the help we could provide. We had the #1 oncologist on deck for him and a team of specialists on standby with private care in our home. He and his mother declined. The door of communication was open and remained open until his death. To the self-proclaimed Mama Bear, may God have mercy on your soul for not allowing him to accept that help and not allowing him to use that line of communication. There's great comfort in knowing God knows the truth in all caps and the totality of the whole, in all caps, whole story. I am truly thankful for the immense peace God has given me. I've left everything in all caps, his hands. I have a clear conscience. Bullshit. The only judgment that matters is God's. My wife, that hoe, our children, those motherfuckers, and our eternally thankful to Almighty God. Don't use God in this. That the suffering has come to an end, and grateful for our condolences. Thanks to those of you have known the truth from the beginning and haven't let untruths, half-truths, or slander prejudice your opinion. Fuck you, Brian McKnight. And then he uses a Bible quote. He said, "Blessed be God, even the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies and the God of all comfort. Let me get into this man real quick. Brian McKnight, there's a special, and when I say a special place in hell for you, bitch, there's a special fucking place in hell. After you disowned your kids, I stopped fucking with you. I stopped listening to your music. Like, I listen to Pandora. Anytime Back at One come on, bitch, I immediately skip to the next song because I refuse to listen to that song at this point. Used to love that song back in the day. But at this point, I won't support anything with Brian McKnight. And if anybody does, that speaks more to your character, because I don't understand how you can support someone. And I'm gonna read again some of the stuff that stood out to me. Because if you listen to what I said and hear what I read, if you listen to what I read and actually hear it out loud, he doesn't give a fuck. Because he says he and his family went to Maui. Remember, he disowned his kids. He disowned his black kids. But the kids with that bitch that he's married to, that's who he went to Maui with to remember his son. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Then, in you quote unquote remembering your son, you take a dig at his mother who is grieving the death of her son. Sir, just because you got the best oncologist and were willing to bring him into your home, you also have to remember, Nico is a grown-ass man. If Nico really wanted the help from you, there would have been nothing his mom he could go to. He would probably go to his mama and ask her, "How do you feel about this?" And I don't know his mama, but I can almost imagine that if there was any chance that her son could have fought this and stayed on this earth with us, I don't think the woman would be like, we don't want it from him. I think the woman would have said, yes, I may not agree with how your dad is treating you guys, but if that'll help you, go for it. Brian, I don't believe shit that you saying. I think you saying this shit for public consumption so that people will be like, oh, well, he did try. And, his ex-wife said, don't do it. I think you're full of shit. I think you're full of shit because how do you sit here and say you got the best, the number one oncologist and you were willing to have him in your home, but months prior, you disowned your kids and called them a fucking product of sin. So you're gonna bring a product of sin into your house? And you quoting God and all this kind of stuff and saying your conscience is clear, but you're gonna bring a product of sin into your house. No, the product of sin is that raggedy ass, trifling ass, disgusting ass woman that you married. That's the product of sin. Her kids are the product of sin. That's the product of sin, because I don't understand, for the life of me, I don't understand how anybody could marry somebody like that. But that just shows what kind of a person his current wife is. She's a miserable, like the karma that you and that hoe gonna get, baby, I don't want to witness it or nothing like that. Like the karma you and your wife gonna get, God, if you don't answer for it here on this earth, baby, you gonna answer for it when you go to meet God. One of them, if you don't get that karma on earth, you gonna get it. And then speaking about his wife, bitch, lady, dumbass. Do you see the way that he's treating his kids that are biologically his? Your kids ain't his. What'll happen? What do you think will happen if, God forbid, you get divorced from him? He finds a newer, better model than you. You think you're gonna treat your kids that ain't even his biologically? You think he's gonna continue to treat them like he does currently? You're a fool if you believe that. You a fool if you believe that. And here's the thing that I will also say. Whatever services that, his Julie and the kids have for Nico, don't invite that motherfucker. Because if y'all see the petty type of person that I am, if y'all invite that man, it would be, I wouldn't come dressed, I would come in a t-shirt, some shorts, some sneakers, and I'd be ready to fight him. I'm like, I tell him, hey, before y'all start this service, and I would have my suit and tie and stuff in the car. But like, before y'all start the service, me and this old man right here, me and you finna take it outside, or we can go right in here, or one of the two. Because what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna disrespect my mother, and you're not gonna disrespect my deceased brother. I don't give a damn if that is your son, but I came from her, he came from her. We are one and the same. You are at this point, you're an outsider, so you gonna have to come about whatever you got on. Like if you got on a suit and tie, you have to come about them shoes real quick, bro, and catch this fade with me. Cause Brian McKnight would catch a fade with me. It would be on site every time I see him. Anytime and every time I see that man, it would be on fucking site with him. It would be on site. I kid you guys not. It would be on site with Brian McKnight because this is tasteless. And then you sit here and talk about your brother. If it wasn't for your brother, we wouldn't have known that your son passed away because you ain't spoke on it. You waited almost a week later. You waited almost a week later after your son passed away to say something. And then when you do say something about your son, it's negative. and then you use God in this. God don't like ugly, Brian. And that's all I got to say, you guys. That's it. Let me know what you guys thought about everything that we talked about in this video. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, you guys, turn on your post notifications, and share the video. Until the next time, you guys, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And that's it, you guys. So They Cutting the Fool. So since this is Wednesday, I'll record They Cutting the Fool tomorrow on Thursday. And you guys will see that on Friday. But yeah, you guys, that's it. I kept this at 30 minutes. I am so proud of myself because I really thought I was going. I did go off on Brian McKnight, but I didn't go off as bad as I was thinking last night. I am so glad I didn't record this last night because I would have been on here forever. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.